Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is your spot. And a 3-hour banger is on tap. Great guest on the program today. VSiN host and contributor Will Hill on the show in 30 minutes. In studio out from Connecticut. Spencer Aguiar came on this show a week ago for the first time ever. What did he do on the PGA Tour? He gave up Michael Thornbjornsen and he hit it 45-1. That's pretty good.
Damn right.
Our pizzeria comes up following him at 5:45 Eastern, and Derek Stevens on the show a little bit later on. Where is he at overall with the mind state of the Detroit Tigers that day? They were big-time sellers yesterday, Paulie, at the deadline. We'll expand on that coming up. The AP Top 25 dropped today in college football. The preseason poll is out. Ohio State's number one overall. The respect that this university gets every single year. And that might sound like, oh, they stink this year. Not what I'm saying. They lost so much talent, specifically on defense they did, that we just expect them to be like, it's not going to be a big deal. Like, think of the talent they lost in the first, 11 picks of the draft? Still the best team in the country.
And a tough schedule.
Yes.
And the showdown against Texas, I know. So the question starts, number one, will they go over their win total? That's number one. Miami shouldn't be 7.
Too low.
Yes, when you beat Ohio State and you beat Notre Dame, and maybe you upgrade at quarterback, and Mensa brings his star wide receiver from Duke with him, and you have Fletcher and Tony back, they shouldn't be 7.
No. That's too low.
And I'm with you as well. I don't care who's playing quarterback for Indiana. And Hoover, you could say, could be an upgrade. You never know with what Cignetti can do, because Hoover was certainly excellent at times at TCU and showed more promise than what we saw at Cal with Mendoza.
Sure.
You can't count out Cignetti.
Now, how about this? Indiana in the AP poll, 6th in the preseason. They got 14 first-place votes.
That's bizarre.
Second most behind Ohio State.
Yeah.
So more first-place votes than every other team ahead of them, including the likes of Oregon, Notre Dame, and Texas. That tells you, the differences in opinion. A lot of people voting on this thing still are like, they lost Mendoza. Cignetti, not along. I guess they're saying not a big enough sample size here for me to buy in. I don't know. It's only the most impressive thing we've ever seen in sports to win a national title at freaking Indiana
And blowing people out
killing them
until Miami gave them a game?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Why is Texas 4? How do you believe in Sark? And, yes, they had some good wins down the stretch, but remember, they should have lost to Miss State. They should have lost to Kentucky. They lost by 25 to Georgia. You had the Arch Manning debacle right away against Ohio State.
Here's the thing.
Come on.
I would say that you can argue that Texas and or Oregon are the two most talented teams in the country, just talent-wise, man for man, position by position. But the coaching deal in college football is kind of a big one, right? And Dan Lanning has blown big game after big game. It's getting worse now, by the way it seems, with the blowout loss to Indiana last year. And
17-1 in the Big Ten last 2 years.
And that goes, think about what happened to Ohio State after the bye 2 years before that with Dylan Gabriel. Game was over in the first quarter. So it's getting uglier for that team. In Texas, they might have more but I don't know. Are you there with Sark?
Oh, absolutely not.
Neither am I. Neither am I.
No way. That's a big problem and concern.
I would put Miami ahead of Miami. Plus, when you factor, what are we doing here? Is it the most talent going into the season? Are we going to factor in the schedule overall? Are we trying to project what's going to happen? If you're trying to project what's going to happen here, Miami unquestionably has to be higher than number 7 overall in the country, based on their talent coming back, the conference they play in, and their overall schedule this season. This is also astonishing. Every single year, like clockwork, this tells you, and it's a good indication that the preseason rankings are total garbage, and it's just I don't know why they do it still. It's, we can sell these games now on TV a little bit better. We got number 1 versus number 3, whatever it is. But if you go back the last 23 years, a team in the top 10 preseason has finished unranked every year but one.
This is the most incredible stat in sports, isn't it? Isn't that almost impossible and hard to believe?
Yeah, it is.
How about this? 3 of them last year. 3.
Yep.
Penn State, LSU, and Clemson. Last season, 11 teams that were ranked in the preseason coaches poll finished unranked. There's 2 locks. Embiid was going to get hurt, and someone is going to finish unranked here out of these 10 teams. That it's this 22-1 run.
By the way, Penn State was number 2 in the preseason last year. I'll raise my hand. I thought that team was absolutely going to go to the playoff and have a monstrous season. Didn't happen. Clemson was the other one. Remember the talk? They were odds on to win the ACC. Just put them in every cross-sport parlay. It's going to get done.
Yeah, they got me too. Yeah.
Total flop yet again. And then LSU, another disaster. And that's why Lane Kiffin is in as a head coach there. The year before that, it was Michigan and Florida State. They missed completely. So I guess you have to, from a betting standpoint, try to figure out which team that's going to be, assuming that history holds true.
Yes. I would say Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's the team that I landed on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of breaks last year. Shouldn't have beat South Carolina. And maybe they fall apart, and that happens.
Our college football betting guide is out now as well. VSiN.com/subscribe or VSiN.com/guide to get it today. A&M's ranked number 11. They host Texas and Tennessee. They play at LSU, Alabama, and Oklahoma. A best bet from John McKenchie in the guide is, in fact, Texas A&M under 8.5 wins this year. So
Brad Powers thinks they missed the playoffs, too, and have a down year.
Yeah, and that might be a betting stamp. Maybe win total under on a team like that, or to miss the playoffs in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Oklahoma? I know you're high on Ole Miss, but that could be one.
So
you lose Kiffin and a tough schedule, and maybe they fall apart. Although I would say Texas A&M, though, out of my list.
Yeah, I would fully tell you, Paulie, that even though I have positive bets on Ole Miss, the reason why is because I think the talent they brought in is exceptional, and I could not love Trinidad Chambliss more if I tried. But the range of outcomes for Ole Miss is gigantic, in my opinion. I'm talking maybe 10 wins, challenge for the SEC conference, or they finish with 7 and they miss everything entirely.
Luke, when's the last time Alabama was in preseason top 10? Was that Saban's first year? Is that how far you have to go back? Alabama's not top 10?
I'm trying to think of when another down year could have been. I mean, I can't imagine that. It never happened with Saban after he took over.
I think he went 7-6 and then
but
he
after
took
that,
off
right. And could have been 2008, yeah.
Wow.
Because DeBoer had really good teams here in his first couple of years taking over for Saban. They haven't done so hot, but they were definitely preseason top 10.
Well, his problem is he's winning the big games, but he's lousy as a double-digit favorite.
Yeah, right.
He's stinks up the joint when he's expected to win. Well, they're calling. You're gonna go. Sorry.
I was going to say, if A&M's the obvious choice of the two of us, who would be the non-obvious? And we're really shocked the world.
Well, there could be an injury. I mean, that's one thing.
Sure.
I mean that I could say Texas. I could see that happening with a tough schedule, and you'd lose to Ohio State, and then you get into conference play.
Sure. And what if Manny never takes the leap?
That's possible.
That people assume is going to happen.
Yep. They're calling Whittingham the stain remover. I mean, he was ready. He was done at Utah, and now we'll see how he does at Michigan. I know Humans likes Michigan's win total under.
How would you like to have that nickname?
I know. Clean up the program. I know. What bad? Yep. And how about Sun Belt Billy is back in the Sun Belt? James Madison.
But where he belongs, though, right?
I guess, right.
Now, what kind of level can he bring James Madison back to?
I would say 10, 11 wins year in, year out. I don't think that's a surprise.
That's what I had in my head.
But right.
We're on the same page here
and
in this
I would
first
say,
segment.
and a lot of people are high on Chesney and say don't bet against UCLA and that he can come in and they have a tough schedule.
Sure.
That hurts. But I think they'll surprise a lot of people. And as I said yesterday, USC is 14. Riley's got to prove it to me. You got to win tough games on the road.
Yeah, and that's
been a disaster for them since they entered the Big Ten.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of difficult spots obviously coming up on the schedule this year, playing in that conference as well. If it does work and they win 10 games, a major reason why will be the offense again. And this guy's been so good with quarterbacks and the play that he gets out of them. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, along with Caleb Williams, all Heisman Trophy winners. If they win 10 games, I think Maeva can win this thing. I took him he's the only guy that I have at 25-1. I'm going back and forth on a bunch of other guys, and I haven't added anybody else yet. So, what do you think about LSU?
Schedule's too tough. And Kiffin, the one time he was going to win something or accomplish something, he left. Then quit before the playoff. So, I think it's going to take a few years.
I was going to say,
I think the expectations are outrageous. What some people are saying they should do or what they're the fan base thinks he should accomplish in year one.
Right. As much credit as everybody has to give, even SEC haters, well, people from the SEC who hate everybody else, you can't ignore. People try, but you're idiot if you do. And that would be Cignetti, obviously, with what he's done. Is Lane Kiffin, does he deserve this much respect?
No way. Not for what that's on the resume. No.
Because
absolutely not.
Right. To assume that LSU is going to make this jump, be a playoff team, go over their win total, and be a threat already in year one, and then that's correlated with Ole Miss just falling back to the pack big time. Tread lightly with that, I would say.
No, remember USC?
Yeah, I know.
He was terrible at USC.
Terrible, yeah.
On the guide, there's a lot of Notre Dame-Ohio State championship game predictions.
Too much Ohio State, in my opinion.
Okay. Couple surprises. There's a BYU, and there's a Texas A&M.
Yeah, no, I can't get there with them either. Reed's really going to have to just take, and he's really good, but he's going to have to take the biggest step forward then, I think, for that to happen.
Plenty of Miami to win the ACC. There is a Vodtech. There's a couple SMUs. There's one Penn State Big Ten, and SEC is the majority, either Texas or Georgia, to win at all the predictions that everyone has at VSiN.
Yeah. Did you make a Big Ten bet?
No. I think it's a great conference, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ohio State. I did bet, Penn State's win total over.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not a Campbell guy, but come on, the schedule's a joke.
There's also a lot of hype on Wisconsin this year.
Oh, I don't get that. You're the guy to ask for that.
No.
He has failed miserably there. I'm shocked at what Fickle did.
Yep. Win-lose coming up next. Betting takeaways after the deadline. I took this at around 28-1. A little bit higher is available as well coming up here on VSiN.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Super stoked for this. Usually we connect via Zoom on this show and throughout the network when he is contributing and hosting. Will Hill joins the program in studio today. We have met before, but it's been a minute, pal. How are you?
Yeah, it's good to be here. I think the last time I saw you, at least, was Connecticut, back when you guys, when that DraftKings opened up in Foxwoods.
Foxwoods, right?
Boy, 2022. I might have seen you since. I've been to Vegas a couple times since, but it's good to be here. Good to see you guys.
Different story this time, though. You're here with the family, the wife and the kids.
Yeah, and it's quite warm here, as some people may have heard. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's ridiculous.
Bad beat.
It's a bad beat and stuff, but hey, you know what you're signing up for when you come here in August. You know what you're signing up for. But doing a Bet Bash, I think we got a little Bear Bets podcast live from Bet Bash tomorrow. I know that starts here in a little bit, just the Bet Bash in general. So it'll be good to see some people, meet some people, and excited to be here.
When we saw you at Foxwoods, we did the trilogy with the pizza. Sally's, Pepe's. Where do you stack in New Haven with what they have in that unbelievable pizza?
I would go Pepe, Sally's, Modern.
Really?
In that order. But it's close. I think you could throw a blanket over the three. I don't think you could go wrong with any of the three, but I'd go Pepe's first.
Where's John's in New York?
I don't think I've had that one.
You still haven't been to John's?
No, I don't think so.
Very good.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't think so.
Well, how would you rank? Are there specific pies, by the way, that you liked in New Haven? Because Paulie and I were stunned at how the white clam and bacon,
Clam and bacon,
phenomenal.
Clam and the bacon, too. Absolutely.
I had zero expectations, and it blew my mind.
Yep, that's the go-to for me.
You're a big baseball guy. Your biggest, we were just talking about this. Adam Burke wrote about it. I can piggyback this. Giants, most losses on the year, 28-1. Oof. They're 5 up on the Angels for that. Going to be tough to beat, but 28. What was your biggest takeaway?
The Cubs, and it's funny, I think our buddy the Bear, Chris Felica, has Giants 85-1. I think he used some boosts on them early in the year, thinking, you know what, I think a lot of us had this thought too, and ended up being dead wrong. I was on the Nationals. A lot of people thought the Cardinals, the Twins. I think people saw an opening with worse record because the Rockies were minus 400, and a lot of people thought the Rockies could be better. And, you know, the Rockies are better, but I could certainly see Giants 28-1. I love what the Cubs did because you just look at a good defense, a good offense. They needed pitching. They need guys that can get people out. Gossman pitches to contact. I think he's been a little unlucky this year with balls in play, left on base, things like that. Holmes is a ground ball machine. And, Garrett, the kid from the Marlins, Braxton Garrett, is a guy with ability. The reliever's not bad. I really like what the Cubs did. 18-1 to win the whole thing. There's some exactas out there. Cubs over Red Sox, 100-1. Red Sox over Cubs, 150-1. I think the Cubs have a good run. And they're going to be in that wild card scenario, which, look, you got a bad 24 hours, you're out. But I thought what the Cubs did was really good. And I have some White Sox division futures. I'm kind of worried. I think what Cleveland did was very good, adding a little thump to that lineup. The White Sox can be caught. You just keep waiting for that other shoe to drop when you have a team, 65.5, 67.5 wins that's winning the division in August. You just think, man, it's too good to be true. I didn't get the best numbers, but I got like 20-1, and I'm worried that Cleveland might catch them.
This Red Sox run is insanity. To win 23 of 26, they're only 5.5 back. Who do you think's going to win the AL East?
Boy, it's so much of it is when is Judge going to be back, and I think that plays into the Yankee deadline where people knocking them for not getting a reliever. I get it. I think their approach was, if Judge is back, we're good. If we're not, we're screwed anyway. So they I thought Garcia was a good bat. I'll say Yankees, but how could you have a lot of confidence? That bullpen, and what a crazy game that was last night with all those late runs. I'll say Yankees. I'll say Judge comes back at some point, maybe, first week in September. They stick around close enough. Garcia, Rice is enough offense. Schlittler, Fried, Cole, that's pretty good pitching. I'll say Yankees, but boy, it's hard to have a lot of confidence. You got to figure the Red Sox cool off at some point. I mean, this is not sustainable.
Yeah, not for the next 2 months, I don't think.
They just win every day for a month. It's crazy.
I will say this about the Rays. I
no respect.
I burned a lot of money on Freddie Peralta props over the years, like to lead the league in strikeouts and to maybe win the National League Cy Young. Although he was a solid pitcher, turned into one, certainly Milwaukee. I think going from that New York market to Tampa Bay, and Vasgersian brought this up yesterday with their pitching coach, I think that was a very under-the-radar pickup for Tampa.
And wouldn't it be just typical of the Mets if he's holding up, the ALCS MVP trophy with 2 7-inning gems? I completely agree. What was the nickname he got in New York? 4 frames Freddie or something. He just couldn't get out of the fourth. He was terrible. But the Rays, the Brewers, some of these teams, the Dodgers, they pick up pitching and you just assume they're going to get the best out of them. It's like the Patriots were for years or the Spurs were for years, where certain teams pick up guys and you just give them the benefit of the doubt. I agree. Peralta, certainly better than what he's shown. And what a disaster for the Mets. I mean, it's hard to believe they're sitting there with a 92, 93 win total to be just an afterthought. I mean, think about 2 years ago. They're 2 games away from the World Series. The White Sox have 121 losses. Yeah. And now they're selling pieces to the White Sox. The White Sox are the buyer. The Mets are the seller.
Good point.
It's just, our old buddy Dave Sharapan. Nobody knows bleep. Nobody knows anything, man. It's just sports it keeps us on our toes. It's just so hard to predict.
Follow the Money, Paulie and Mitch Veason. We're talking to Ken Patera about baseball. How about do you like Freddie today? I mean, he has unbelievable numbers in Coors.
I did not play that. I try to
too high. Is it too high?
I try to stay away from the Coors games. The Coors games are just. It's almost like you're playing a different sport. And then you get the random. I bet against Sagano. Was it Friday night? Sagano's underlying stuff is terrible. And he goes out. He looks like prime Roger Clemens against the Royals. They win 3-1. He doesn't give up a hit. I mean, you get some wacky games in Coors. I try to stay away from those Coors games. I played Orioles team total over 4.5.
Okay.
I think they'll score some runs over their old buddy Grayson Rodriguez.
Oh, is he bad?
He's bad.
And
they traded away their whole bullpen, Paulie, so they should be able to score some runs. Orioles should be able to get some late runs, if nothing else. And I like doing this. I like getting that half a run with the Pirates in the first 5. Jared Jones against Henderson. To me, that half a run sometimes is that winning run where 1-1 after 5, 2-2 after 5. I love getting that half a run, and it's cheap. It's like minus $1.20. So
I looked at that same exact bet today.
Yeah, I like that one.
The Pirates have won 6 out of 7 against. You figure this out.
Yeah.
Against the Brewers this year. Brewers owned them over the years, but it completely flipped this season, including last night. By the way, this is actually, you said this, one of the most amazing stats ever, Paulie, today about the top 10 teams in college football. One has been completely unranked every year, about one going back to the last 23, 24 years. The Freddie Peralta numbers in Coors might be more staggering.
Yes. So it's a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, in 4 starts at Coors Field.
5.
That is amazing.
Five. Total domination in his career. How does that make sense?
That's amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. And by the way, back to the Pirates, they need Jones to be good, and he's really good. Skeens is just not himself. I don't know if it's injury. You wonder, because we're in a new age of baseball. These guys throwing 100, you wonder if it's sustainable. Start in, start out for 3-5 years. I mean, look at a guy like Spencer Strider, who a couple of years ago, people be lining up. Young pitcher, great. You just wonder if these guys can sustain it for years. And Skeens, you see all the stats not hitting 98 miles an hour. It's a shame because I love the rest of the team. The offense has gotten better. And that's the irony with them. He was great. The team stunk. The team's pretty good now, and he can't carry his weight. If he was the Skeens that he was in past years, and even the first half of the year, he was almost flirting with a no-hitter every time out. If he could be back to being Skeens, that's a real dangerous team. I just don't know that that's possible, and you wonder if he's dealing with some kind of injury here.
Paulie, did you see that tweet from, I think it was Codified Baseball,
That's the
what
one.
Will was talking about there? He documented how many pitches Skeens hit 98-plus miles an hour in on every start in his career. Go back a couple years ago, it was always what, Will, 30, 40 a
30,
game?
40, and then you just get, in the last couple months, 0, 0, 0. Yep.
Every start.
Yep.
So is he tinkering too much with the pitches, or is it just the velocity's gone?
You always hear that expression, dead arm. Maybe he's got a dead arm. I think that's the best possible scenario. You figure he's so valuable. If he was hurt, he would say something. They would say, hey, you're too valuable. You got to sit down. But he just keeps going out there, and he's not helping them now. I wonder if at some point they just give him a week or two to rest and say, you know what, you just we'll see in a couple weeks. Hopefully the velocity comes back because it's just not working.
Sorry, that's what they're saying with Joe Ryan, who's been terrible.
Yeah.
That he's
Arm
got
fatigue.
Yeah, arm fatigue. And they're $1.40 on the road because
Yep.
he's been lit up as of late.
Will, you do anything with the School Bowl game tonight, taking on the Cubs?
No, I mean, that's a tricky one. First start, you wonder if there'll be some nerves, and do you really want to lay that number with the Dodgers? Do you really want to back Assad? I don't want to do anything with that game. I figure he'll probably pitch well. I'm excited to be interesting to see him in that uniform, and I'll definitely be watching that game tonight, but I didn't have any feel for that game.
Okay. What else do you like tonight?
Mentioned Orioles team total over. I like that one over the 4.5. I like taking the Pirates plus the half a run. I kind of like this. I know Ryan's been shaky, but Dobnak, I mean, you look at him, he's had great numbers. It's not sustainable. He's leaving everybody on base. The ball's constantly in play. He's not striking anybody out. So maybe an over there, but the first two I mentioned are the ones I really like.
I'll give you one tonight.
Why are the Red Sox so cheap? Is that what you're going to say?
Well,
Davis
no,
Martin's been bad, and the White Sox have road issues.
I do have that one circled. Also, Singer's been good. I get it. Ginn's actually been solid for the A's, but this A's team, 9-31, I think, last 40 games.
Correct.
Yikes. And the Reds are a cheap price. But tonight, look, the Tigers shipped off Skubal and Mize yesterday. That doesn't affect the offense.
No.
They got Melton going tonight, who's been fantastic. I can get them plus money against Seattle. I'm on board with the Tigers here.
I could see that Melton's really good too, and wouldn't it be funny? I think we talked about this the other day when you came on the podcast. We've seen teams do this. The Tigers 2 years ago, they sold off people. They sold off Flaherty. They got red hot. They made it to the playoffs, and best of 5 in the first round. And the Yankees in 2016, they traded Beltran. They traded all these guys. At the deadline, Andrew Miller, Chapman, and the next thing you know, they make a run. They call up Judge. It helps when it's Aaron Judge being called up, but we've seen teams trade off players and make runs. So you could certainly debate the what Detroit did in terms of selling off, but yeah, I'm with you. Melton is definitely a bet on pitcher.
Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Will Hill with us in studio. There's baseball. We'll go over some of his best bets for futures in football coming up next here on the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Pretty good debut last week, I would say, for Spencer Aguiar. Joined the program. We talked Rocket Mortgage Classic, and he tipped off Michael Thorbjornsen. And he went on to win, and he was awesome on Sunday, and he was around 45-1, maybe a little bit higher. And Spencer obviously has to join the program off of that great weekend result that he had. He is at T-Off Sports on X, toffsports.club is the website. Tremendous result last week, Spencer. Tip of the cap to you, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like, we were talking a little bit off air before we started this, and if every single week would be like that, it wouldn't be gambling. And I always give the answer that outrights in golf are something nice to be able to hit to boost the bankroll. It's not necessarily the market that I would pick for everybody if we're trying to sustainably build a bankroll at the end of the day. But when you can get something like that across the finish line, first time on this show, it obviously looks good, at least from a headline standpoint.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's break down this week now for the Wyndham Championship. Tell us, let's begin with this before we get into your bets that you like, how this course sets up and which stats kind of matter to you the most this weekend.
Yeah, so another Donald Ross course this week. It's going to be very short in its layout. It's going to be sub 7,200 yards, par 70, Bermuda greens. And, I've given this answer in articles and on podcasts throughout the week. If you look at the winning scores over the last 5 iterations of this contest, you're going to hover right around 20 under par for who wins this. And you get this general expectation to where it's one of the 12 most predictable venues on tour each year for rollover production. That's typically something that you can expect when you see the buckets start pushing into similar production ranges. So what I mean by that, 8 par 4 holes stretch between 400 to 450 yards. You're going to get a little less than 80% of approach shots that come from 125 plus yards. Your real big bucket of increase is going to be from 125 to 175, about an 8% increase from what you typically get from a standard tour stop. And a lot of that is fun to come on a show, talk about. It maybe makes model building a little bit easier. But the one thing I will say, at least in my opinion, is there's a flip side to the equation that's worth pointing out to that. If there is a blueprint that everybody can follow, and we know this tournament every single year produces similar results, it makes it marginally easier for the sports books. It's going to allow sports books to skew numbers ever so slightly. And then you even want to go the more convoluted route with it and talk about DFS or anything like that. All of a sudden you find people landing in really similar buckets. So I think how you build a model this week is important. At its very core, I tried to find golfers that could locate fairways. I think you need to be good from that proximity bucket that I talked about. And because you have these tricky Bermuda Ross style greens, it doesn't mean you have to be a good putter necessarily to find success here, but you do need to be a good Bermuda putter if you want to get to that 20 under par mark.
Okay, let's go top of the board then. How short do you want to go with building this portfolio out?
When I came on last week, I talked about that I didn't want to start this thing at less than 50 to 1. And, you can number shop and talk about exactly where some of those numbers landed, and Thor Bjornsson being the top of the board for me of how I built my card in that 45 or 50 to 1 range. I had a little bit of a change of perspective this weekend. I think you asked me at the end of the show about Jackson Koivun and my thoughts on him. And I kind of said that I think Koivun is a name that in the next 5 years might be the one that dethrones Scotty Scheffler. It doesn't mean it's going to happen today, but we're kind of on that trajectory of best amateur golfer we've ever seen in golf, comes onto the PGA Tour, wins within his first 5 pro PGA starts. I didn't necessarily think last week was the best course fit for him. When I ran numbers for this tournament, and if you just play the blind resume test and you remove names from the equation, Jackson Koivun for this tournament, and I'm not saying this is the right answer, guys, because it's a small sample size of data of what we're pulling from. But if you just take this small sample size and you don't try to extrapolate out the statistics, Koivun kind of looks like a Scotty Scheffler-esque player inside of my model, to where just the raw data is pushing him into this 10, 11, or 12 under, or 12, 11, or 12 to 1 range of where he should be winning this golf tournament. He's number 1 across the board in pretty much every key metric that I am looking for this weekend. The caveat to that is it's limited sample size. The expectation of regression has to come into play. I just think for me, as I built my model this weekend, I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm trying to dive into and what the numbers say. There is this hidden projection and hidden box of what is Jackson Koivun actually as a PGA Tour professional? What can we expect from him moving forward? And that blind resume leads me in this direction to try to be aggressive on him if the raw data from the small sample size is saying he should be half this price. I'm not necessarily saying I would bet him down to this number. I think if you can get him 18 to 1 or higher, that's probably more of like the realistic zone that you want to find for this. But I think Koivun's potential and his course fit for this tournament is really going to resonate through. So I thought we were getting a soft price on him in these 18 to 20 to 1 zones that he's currently at.
I was shopping around right now. Some books have moved to like 15, 16, but you can still find 20s out there.
Yeah.
How about Ben Griffin?
That's
oh, sorry.
No. I was just really quickly to wrap a bow on the Jackson Koivun thing. If you look at a lot of the sharp markets out there, I mean, I've seen him as low as 11 to 1, and that's a little bit ridiculous of what it's at. But you can very consistently find him at 15-1, and that's not where you want to be betting him. But it kind of goes to show the point that there is influential money moving him. And according to my model right now from opening numbers, he is the second most influential move of sharp dollars that we've seen come into play. So I think Koivu makes a lot of sense there. As you asked about the Ben Griffin question, I thought this Griffin number, and shop around to see where you can find the best. Circa has 27-1. I believe you can still get this into the 30s if you look around. I got him at 35-1. That number is mostly gone at this point, but I think anything in the high 20s or low 30s makes a lot of sense. This was a golfer for me. Just look at course history. 3 top 11 finishes in this tournament. Not necessarily a course history guy at my core of stuff, but I thought you got this enhanced number on him because of the miscut that he provided at the Rocket Classic. Kind of soft pricing to begin there. Number 3 player in my model in weighted strokes gained total. Number 4 when you look at comp courses, so anything that looks like Sedgefield in its layout. And that kind of just carries across the board, whether that be weighted scoring, which is just an extrapolation for me of every single hole and how a player is projected to perform from those distances. And then number 6 for easy scoring courses plus Bermuda. So he's kind of checking all the boxes that I'd want to see at what I thought was an enhanced price to open early on Monday, and has kind of hovered in this zone for 24 plus hours now.
Okay, very good. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Spencer Aguiar. You can follow him on X at TOffSports. The website is toffsports.club as well. So there's Koivu 20, Griffin 30. If you can still find him in that neighborhood, maybe 28 is out there as well, like you said here at Circa. Who are a couple of other guys that you have you bet so far this week in terms of winning this bad boy outright?
I took Gerard in the 30s. I don't like this number as much in the 20s. Like, one of the things I've talked about with him is this highly volatile profile that he brings to the mix. I've talked about the rollover expectation of this course and how the same players seem to play well over and over again. And it's kind of the anti-Ben Griffin answer that I just discussed of a player that's consistently rolling out top 10s. You look at Gerard, back-to-back miscuts at this tournament. I think the caveat on the opposite end of this is to look at the current form, and you have to hope that some of the form that he's bringing to the mix is able to far exceed what he has done at this course historically. I think from a downside perspective, just to tell the entire story here, not the greatest Bermuda putter, so you get some negative trajectory there. Some of the Bermuda splits in general kind of go in the wrong direction. So just something to keep in mind with him. And then the name that I really like throwing a bullet on that's down this board, and I believe Circa has this number, I see 120-1. I mean, you can even get this lower than that, but I got him at 150. You can still find that price on Lee Hodges. To me, this is a golfer where the ceiling is extremely high in my model and the floor is to miss the cut. It's kind of what we've seen from him historically over the last year. Top 20 finishes at the John Deere and the 3M, missed cuts at the Rocket, Scottish, RBC Canadian Open, but just purely from a statistical perspective, the metrics really like how he fits on similar courses inside of the top 15 in all 3 similar course metrics that I ran. And I think when you look at what he's done historically at this course of nothing being inside of the top 40 in the last 3 go-arounds of this, I feel like there is upside and untapped potential that the market didn't necessarily see. So I bet him 4.5-1 to come top 20. I think you can take that number at 150-1 to win this tournament. Wouldn't mind even moving up the ladder, betting him 10-1 to come top 10. All of those things are in play, but my advice would be just bet it for the upside. Do not take it in the safety markets.
Damn, yeah. That is awesome analysis. Yeah. You got a couple of other bets as well. Bazoot and Hoot top 20 at 3-1 as well. For more, you can go and follow him on X at TOffSports and also TOffSports.club. Spencer, it'd be something else to go back-to-back. Best of luck this week. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. I appreciate the time, guys.
There you go. Spencer Aguiar on the Progressive Guest Line. Very good stuff out of him. Up next, we're going to grab a bite inside of our pizzeria. Long shot bets that can pay off quite handsomely, including a 55,000 to 1 shot with 2 of the 6 legs already in.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time now for our weekly visit. Derek Stevens joins the program now, owner of Circa Las Vegas, the Golden Gate, and the D here in downtown. Good to see you again, my man. How are you today?
Great to see you guys.
Also a lifelong Tigers guy from the area, obviously. Overall, your thoughts on the haul that they got for Tarik Skubal on Saturday night?
You know, in the American League, the Detroit Tigers have the second best run differential in the entire American League right now.
Yeah, they do. Right now.
And they're
second.
selling. You know, losing Mize, and I can see losing Skubal, and I think there is a little bit of a change of heart on the fan base with Skubal, but losing Mize kind of hurt people a little bit. Hell of a deal that A.J. Preller pulled off again for the Padres.
Yes.
But I guess you could say maybe the Tigers got something that come 2 months from now, something's better than nothing. But we'll see. I mean, it's not over with. I mean, they're 2.5 games out of the wild card, right?
Yeah.
And now you bring Max Clark up, adds a little spark to everything. Things are changing.
Oh, you loved your prospects when we asked about it last year, too.
And look at Mel. Mel might be one of the best pitchers right now.
Awesome.
As hot as you could. What a price you can get him at tonight.
I bet him tonight. I had to.
Yeah. I was like, okay, here we go.
Well, I understand the frustration because you're on a 32-20 run.
Yeah.
How solid they're playing, but I guess you could come back and say you could still sign them though after the season's over.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that's being the cards. I mean, that number is just so big. You know what I'm upset about? I'm upset with. I'm not even a fan. I just wanted them to get them because I would have really enjoyed baseball this playoff run in October a little bit more. I really wanted the Brewers to get them. Now I thought the Brewers farm system was so good. I thought the Tigers might have gotten a bigger haul. But Brewers, I mean, Milwaukee prospect huggers. These guys.
Yes.
So we played
apparently.
we played a soundbite from a guy who covers the team yesterday. He was on a podcast. I also had a text message from somebody else right away on Sunday morning. They said the same thing, and they don't know each other. And that is, I'm hearing the Brewers offered a better package than what the Dodgers did.
Yeah, that's what they're all saying. Well, wait a second. Well, something doesn't add up here with this story. Something does not add up. Why would the Tigers take a worse package with the Dodgers? I mean, what's the conspiracy theory here?
Would this be to prove
Lockout?
a point next year, the lockout?
Well, why would the Tigers fall on the sword for that one? I don't get it. Mm-hmm. If you could have got Andrew Fisher, you could have got, we're not talking about the number one prospect, but you could have got something better, I would have hoped.
Mm-hmm. I hated the return, Derek. Hated it. For Tarik Skubal, what'd you say earlier about prospects?
ESPN gave him a D. But you go back, I'll get it in a second, since 25th, 1 second.
It's more than a decade.
I got it.
It's like 70% of prospects. Yeah, here you go.
70% of prospects traded at the deadline since 2015 have a negative WAR or have not made the majors, courtesy Baseball America.
Yeah, the Dodgers have done a heck of a job propping up their prospects.
Yeah,
you look at the
they
last
have.
10 years worth of prospects, they're still prospects.
It's all
or
propaganda.
They're retired.
Yeah,
it is.
Yep.
It is propaganda. So, I don't know. Losing Skubal, guy won 2 Cy Youngs for Detroit, and out. But I really would have liked to see him and Mizorowski as a 1-2.
Oh, God,
that would have
please.
been a lot of
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
Well, how about booking this now and where you guys went to minus 130 on the Dodgers to win the National League? Outrageous.
Well, what are they supposed to do? I mean,
I mean, I'll never see this again.
Put up offer like 3-4 to 1. See if people want to bet that number.
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you bet it at 3-1, right? I mean, it's lousy. But
Yeah.
the one good thing about it is that unless you're a diehard Dodgers fan, is there any team you dislike more than the Dodgers now?
No.
I mean, it reminds me of like in the early 80s, how everybody didn't like the Yankees. It's kind of like the same thing right now, I think, about the Dodgers.
And the 2000s. That's
90s,
that's fair,
2000s,
too.
yeah.
People
Yeah.
hated him and what Steinbrenner did. We haven't seen you in a while. I haven't, at least in a month. So what's going on? You're on a record pace with the contest. Let's start with Survivor. Where are we at? What are we looking at for pace-wise?
It started kicking up. Went to a new gear about a week ago. We're pacing now. It's hard for me to say it because you got to figure you're not going to be able to keep this pace up at some point. But we were running at about 40% above last time I saw you. Then it's ratchet. Now we're running 45, 50%, 55, 60.
Oh, boy.
As of yesterday, we're 63% above.
Wow.
So the percentage keeps going up. Groups are coming in left and right. These emails I'm getting are unbelievable about, hey, I'm gonna fly into town. I played in Survivor last year, had a couple of entries, but I had a good time. One of my entries made it to December. I talked to all of my buddies about it, and we're gonna wire you in $300,000 because I'm bringing out 30 of my buddies. We're all going to come out. We're all going max in.
Wow.
Send us. We need to have 30 hotel rooms. We want to ball out at Stadium Swim one night, and like, holy smokes! I mean, new customers. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Okay. So
A lot of big numbers that are going to be coming in here. I also think I keep asking people like, what makes you excited about it? Because, well, we heard about it last year. There's a little bit of a snowball rolling. And then the thought process comes up about, well, we know where our money's at. I mean, we're not messing around with a couple $1,000,000 anymore. I mean, this is a hell of a lot of money to have at risk. You better make sure that your man can pay you.
Yeah.
I mean,
no kidding.
And in Vegas, I mean, you kind of know where we're at. We're not running away from anything. And in Nevada, all these funds have to be bonded. A lot of people don't realize that. We're the only ones that have to be bonded. So let's just say I get hit by a car. Let's say the company, all hell breaks loose. The money here is bonded. It's safe. It's like FDIC insurance effectively at a bank. No one else is like that. So I think as these numbers get bigger and bigger, the safety you getting paid is more and more important.
Great point out of you there. So, by the way, I hope the network has something to do with that, the popularity of it.
Absolutely.
And also the show that you guys have made now for three or four consecutive years.
Absolutely. There's no question. People love watching VSiN. We're talking about it. It's been a lot of fun talking about it throughout the years.
Yep.
You land some new customers, they get interested, and then the snowball keeps rolling. So it's pretty cool.
Once you get a taste of it, you're going to want to, like that group, that's how you're going to want to operate. Is like, now I need to get 10, and I need to tell all my buddies about it, and we need to go to Las Vegas all together and sign up for the max entries. So how many are you doing per day right now? Because the week that week one gets here, aren't you guys doing like 1,000 or more every single day?
Yeah, like for the last couple of days leading up, it might be 1,000 or more.
But
right now we're normally doing about 100 a day, and the last couple of days we've done over 300. And today's a monster.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not posted yet, but
Okay.
it's been a monster.
Are you going to see this with Grandissimo, you think? About people reaching out to him, maybe can you get to 100?
I don't know. Could be. I mean, we had a Grandissimo today. I know we got next 3 days. We got one lined up every day, so it's good. So momentum's good. I think football people are chomping at the bit now.
how many are you expecting overall from? Because you're going to get some stragglers from Bet Bash, are you not?
Oh yeah, I mean having Bet Bash here. Yeah, I mean a lot of people that are coming to Bet Bash they're utilizing this trip as their trip to sign up. So
Right.
should be good. Yeah.
Very good.
You said this on air, that you go to the movies just to get the popcorn and then you leave. And that was a very popular opinion. It's a testament to the popcorn, how good it is.
Yeah. It is
The extra butter? How do you- okay.
Yeah, actually, you know what? There's a couple ways of doing it. And I tell you, like, because we live next to the Suncoast, right across the street. So, like to go pick up a couple big popcorns. Don't necessarily butter it though.
Really?
We take it home, and Nicole and I we fire up some butter on our stove. So we got the hot butter going right on, and she really prefers to watch a show like in our
Great
living
move.
room.
Oh, what a move.
So we have the hot buttered popcorn right there.
That's a pro move right there is what that is.
Absolutely. And you got so many options with the streaming.
Yeah.
And all the great shows are out there.
Netflix has been on fire.
What do you like?
What's
What-
good? Yeah.
We kind of like these mystery thriller like type of shows. Lioness was pretty good.
Good
I like
start.
that.
We are getting
Yes.
a lot of feedback that season 3 is unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good start. Yeah.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
start. Yeah. It's a good show. I recommend
are
The
they-
Agency too, season 2.
Yeah. So we got a lot of movies. Like we're watching Berlin now. I'm going to put that one down. The
Oh,
new
are
season
you?
just came out.
Okay.
I've always enjoyed that.
All right, I got to catch up on that. What's the one on Netflix where did you watch the ship? The ship that sank? It was
I've
a
not
true
seen it.
story?
No, I didn't see that yet.
That one's very popular
Is
on
it called,
Netflix as well. The captain
The
went
Titanic?
No, I think it's in 2012, where the abandoned ship and he hit some rock, and it took him 3 days to rescue him. It was incredible. It's on net. I recommend that one. Very good.
Hey, I'll see you guys soon. My schedule a little bit in and out. My daughter's getting married in a few weeks. So
That's
why
right.
really?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be back and forth to Detroit a couple times here. But we'll be around.
Another
All right.
one. You just
Very
had
good.
it with the son.
My son got married in April. My daughter's married in August. Yeah.
It's a 1-2. That's a nice 1-2 combo, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the next
Thank
couple
you.
of weeks and getting ready for that. Thanks, Derek. Good to see you.
All right.
We'll get to our best bets with in-pocket plays coming up here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.